Ice Universe put out a tweet showing a Galaxy S24 Ultra next to it, and it was two of them right next to each other. He says, "What does this look like?" So I don't know if he's dropping a hint that the next Galaxy Z Fold 6 is basically going to be two Galaxy S24 Ultra in terms of the size of everything, the back and the front, or not. But what was cool is somebody named Tech Avenue put these two phones together and made a giant Galaxy Z Fold 6 Ultra, as he puts it. And it's right next to a Galaxy S24 Ultra. And you also puts it next to a Galaxy Z Fold 5. And it dwarfs the Galaxy Z Fold 5. Z Fold 5 looks tiny compared to the Z Fold 6 Ultra or Z Fold 6, whatever you want to call it. So it begs the question, is this what we're going to get with the Z Fold 6? Because we've heard that it's going to be a bigger phone on the outside display and on the inside display. We don't know fully exactly how much bigger, because this one looks mighty, mighty bigger. And I know some people probably don't want the phone to be that big, but like, if you think that we're potentially going to get a giant Z Fold 6 and it's going to be that size, that thing's going to be super thin, because they're going to be able to put a really pretty big size battery in there, especially if the whole size of the phone is large. They don't have to make the phone that big to put a bigger battery in, or even really keep the battery the same. They can make it even skinnier, which I'm hoping they'll just make it bigger with the bigger battery, which I think they'll end up doing. That would make complete sense, and give us a phone that is worthy of having to pay almost $2,000 for it. Not to say that the Z Fold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hasn't been worthy of that price tag, but when you pay that amount of money, you want a phone that in almost every way is the best phone that company puts out, or is really close to it at the very, very least. With the Z Fold phone, you're getting a phone with a massive display, and it's hard to go from a folding phone back to a traditional regular phone. A lot of people feel that way. I know not everybody, but I would say the mass amount of people that have a folding phone and they enjoy it, once you go back to a regular phone or you just try someone else's phone, it just feels like you're missing out on something. And if they make the Z Fold 6 like the way this looks, this will be a huge selling point, because it'll be a completely different feel to it. You're going to get a regular size outside phone like you will with the S24 Ultra, but then when you open it up, you get this huge canvas. So multitasking will look better. Gaming will be more immersive. If you want to watch a video and do website surfing or website and whatever, it's going to be more enjoyable because you'll see more of the display. And when you see more of the display, that's where the immersion is improved, and that's where the experience is improved. And if you make it lighter and skinnier, people are going to be like, you know what, this phone feels really modern. It's got a huge display, and it feels super premium. And maybe they'll even throw in those premium cameras. I don't think they will, like they have on the S24 Ultra phones, but there's still a possibility that they will. So we've talked about the official specs of the Galaxy S24 series, 24, 24 Plus, 24 Ultra. But there's a couple of things that were missing, or kind of known but not fully known, and I wanted to go through those extra tidbits of information about that, because I think it's going to shed a little light on what to expect with the S24 series in general. This is all official information. So I'm not going to show any graphics because of the fact that I'll get copyright strike. So again, we spoke about the display sizes, the resolution, the brightness. So 2600 nits of 100 nits of brightness across the board. We've spoken about the cameras, the telephoto, all that. Recording, we spoke that it would have 8K at 24 and 30 frames per second. At least I'm announcing that right now. Well, not a huge surprise, but it does have. It also has 4K at 30 and 60. 1080p will go 30, 60, 120, 240, up to 960 frames per second, which matches up with the counterparts of previous generations of phones. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. If you get the 24 Ultra or the 24 Plus, if you get the 24, you're going to get either the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in the US and Canada, and then otherwise, not everywhere, but you'll get the Exynos 2400. So it sounds like the Plus variation will also get the 8 Gen 3 worldwide, potentially, based off this sheet of information. So that would be a great thing, meaning that if you get the 24 Ultra or the 24 Plus, no matter where you get it in the world, you would get it with the 8 Gen 3 rather than having to get it the Exynos 2400. Sounds like the only The regular S24 would be the only phone in some parts of the world where you'd get that Exynos 2400. Now, we spoke about the battery sizes, 5,000 milliamps, 4,900 milliamps, and 4,000, but charging speeds exactly. So the 24 Ultra and 24 Plus will all have the same exact charging speeds. 45 watt wired, 15 watt wireless, and 4.5 watts reversed wireless. So like when you charge a device on the back of your phone, that'll be at 4.5 watts. Now, the regular S24 will have 25 watt wired, so it's going to be slower. 15 watt wireless, which is the same, and then 4.5 wireless reversed, so that will be the same. Now, let's talk about RAM. We spoke about RAM. It's 12 gigabytes across the board if you're getting a 24 Ultra or a 24 Plus. If you get the 24, regular 24, you'll get 8 gigs of RAM. So it's great to see that the 24 Plus and 24 Ultra will get 12 gigabytes pretty much regardless. And that also, it removes a lot of the competition between the two. Also remember, they both have Quad HD Plus displays. So it's like, dude, maybe I'll just go with that 24 Plus. You probably save yourself $200 or something like that, or at least 100. The storage. Now, we spoke about the 24 Ultra not having 1 terabyte. This official sheet is showing 1 terabyte of storage. And so 256, 512, 1 terabyte for the 24 Ultra. So it doesn't shock me. I would expect it's probably going to end up being a Samsung.com exclusive where you'll get that 1 terabyte of storage. So just keep that in mind. Whereas the 24 Plus will have 256 or 512 at UFS 4.0. The S24 will have 128 gigs, but it's going to be UFS 3.1, which is fast, but it's not as fast as the 4.0 storage. And then it'll also have 256 gigabytes at UFS 4.0. I didn't say the official colored names, but the 24 Ultra will come in titanium black, titanium violet will be kind of a purplish color, titanium gray, and titanium yellow. I'll probably grab the violet. 24 Plus and 24 will come in the same colors where you'll get onyx black, cobalt violet, marble gray, and amber yellow. And then they'll all run One UI 6.1. Again, not a huge surprise. Dynamic lock screen, smart keyboard, AI features. And that's the S24 film. In terms of just specific software features, which we have talked about, and there'll be probably more that come out as well. That hardware-wise, that's really what to fully expect. I can't think of anything that's missing from that list. So I wanted to talk about the 3 features that I'm most looking forward to with the Galaxy S24 Ultra. The first one is the flat display. Why? It's a different form factor. It's a return of, form factor to the past when we had these flat displays. So I'm excited about that. Is it going to make a world of difference and be like super noticeable? I hope so, but I don't think so when you compare it to the S23 Ultra. But I think you'll notice a little bit, and I think it's going to be a nice little feeling to the phone overall when you use it. The next one is the AI that's built into this phone. It's getting a lot of features from the Pixel side, which some of that stuff I really, really love. And then they're seemingly adding some of their own stuff as well. So, and I love the thought of having automatic things happen without me really having to get too involved with it, and having the phone have all these extra features that, maybe it didn't have before. And obviously other phones can have it as well, probably. But then it's also going to have exclusive ones that I've mentioned in previous videos that the S23 Ultra, 22 Ultra, and other phones won't get as well. So it'll have exclusive ones and then ones that it's going to end up sharing with the other devices and making the phone just feel different overall with pretty much everything. From photos to general usage of the phone to wallpapers and all kinds of stuff. So it's really it's limitless with AI, what they can do and what they will end up doing with it. And the last one is the camera. I have really high hopes with this one. It was good last year, don't get me wrong, but I think it's going to be even better, especially when you implement that AI technology behind it. It's really going to add another feature or another layer overall to it. Let's jump into it. Again, a lot of this stuff is S24 stuff because we're coming up to the date of the actual announcement, January 17th, and stuff is just getting leaked and leaked and leaked and leaked. And so let's get right into it. First is European prices. Now, I don't know if these will carry over into American prices dollar for dollar or not, but let's just go through it. So they're saying that the S24 128 gig will be $899, while the S24 256 will be $959, or 959 euros, I should say. S24 Plus 256 will go for $1149, and the 512 will go for $1269. S24 Ultra, the 256 will go for $1449, and the 24 Ultra 512 gigabyte will go for $1569, which, I mean, dollar for dollar, I think that's more than what we pay here in America. So I'm hoping that those prices won't convert dollar for dollar. So especially with the S24 Ultra, that's super expensive to pay $1,500 for that phone, the base version. Because I think usually it's what, $1199 if I'm not mistaken. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that one. But that's kind of an annoyance if it ends up becoming true that those prices are dollar for dollar. But remember, you're getting upgraded features, but is it worth $300-400 more? I would say no. I think that's a crazy amount. The last bit of information has to do with the satellite connectivity on the S24 Ultra phone. There was rumors that it was going to have satellite connectivity. I don't know for all the S24s or just the 24 Ultra, but ultimately it was going to have satellite connectivity, so that what the iPhone has. Sorry if the wind is going crazy. I'm just picked up automatically. Basically, if you remember, the iPhones have it so like you're in the middle of nowhere, in the woods, you're on a hike, you're somewhere, and you need satellite connectivity to contact 911 or whatever you guys use for emergency services. You can still reach them via text. This was supposed to have it, but the latest information is that the S24 Ultra will not, or any S24 really, will not have the satellite connectivity. They're having issues with it and having it fully work, and they're just going to scrap it at the last second, and it won't have it. Now, if it comes out to be wrong, I'll be very happy, but the latest information out of Korea, ET News website, is saying that it won't have it. So a little bit of bad news right there, but what do you guys think? You think it's a needed feature? I personally would like to have it. Do I absolutely need it? Because probably not. I'm almost never in an area personally where I don't have some kind of cell connectivity, or I'm around people that would have cell connectivity. It doesn't happen in my daily life. It has to do with a possible price reduction in the Galaxy S24, 24 Plus, and 24 Ultra. Now, we're going to go through this, but the information is coming from Ice Universe, who has put out a tweet saying, I also heard the news about the price reduction of the S24 series from my source. It is said that the stock of the S24 Ultra and S24 Plus is very large this time. Samsung is very optimistic about this generation of products, and so am I. And he says, I haven't given such a positive evaluation of Samsung for a long time. So he's saying that we're going to see a price reduction. Now, the prices we spoke about, was it yesterday, about Europe, those prices, after I had seen some prices of the S23, were reduced at times versus the previous generation. Now, will we see that everywhere, or more likely even the US? I don't think so. I've also seen other people saying we're probably not going to see a price reduction here in the US. I don't think we're going to. I think the prices that the S23, 23 Plus, and 23 Ultra came on in at, I think those will be the same prices that the 24, 24 Plus, and 24 Ultra will also come at, which at the end of the day, it's better than getting a price increase. And when you factor in that these phones have better cameras, more software, flat displays, which is a little bit of a different look to it, and a lot of the other stuff is the same, let's be honest. But I'm fine with that. I mean, I think the price for performance that you get with a Samsung Galaxy device and the quality and the build and everything, I think at that point it's an amazing deal, probably not, but it's a good deal. And then when you factor in that you get really good trade-in values and things like that, it all makes sense, and it makes it to the point where, it's not a bad deal at all. So I don't think we're going to see prices decreases here in the United States. Europe, it's slated that way, and then in other parts of the world, you might see them as well. But in America, I wouldn't get your hopes up. So today's story, and if you want to see what I'm talking about, I'll put a link down below so that you know exactly what I'm talking about, is the differences really in the S24 Ultra. And I've kind of gone through this, but I want to reiterate it and add some emphasis to it, because physically, it's not a big change, which kind of sucks, because you want differences, you want changes, you want things to be looking different, and obviously it's not. But TechDroider made a really nice looking render of the S24 Ultra, the front of it, and his tweet says slimmer bezels, flat display, and titanium frame. Would you upgrade? Now, obviously based off of, if that was, say that was the only thing and nothing else was really changed, I would definitely not upgrade. But when you factor in all the behind the scenes things such as a new processor, updated cameras, updated software, things like that, that's where it all, comes into play. But, slimmer bezel, great. It is the little black thing that goes around the display and the body of the phone is going to be a little bit slimmer. So maybe in your eyes, it's going to be a little bit sexier. The flat display, when I've seen it side by side in renders and then official photos, I'll be honest, it's not as big a change as I thought it would look like versus the S23 Ultra. And I guess that's a good thing at the same time because, some people do want change, and then, you change something completely on somebody and they're just completely thrown off and they can't accept it. So I can kind of get why it's a flat display, but it's not a dramatically bigger size difference when you look at them, year over year. And then the titanium frame, I have to say, I absolutely love it on the iPhone, but I'll have a case on it, so I won't even feel it. But, when I hold that iPhone 15 Pro Max and I feel that titanium frame, it does feel really, really good. It actually is probably the best feeling phone in my hand, that at least the frame part is. There's just something about it that feels great. And I'm assuming that the S24 Ultra will get something very, very similar when you're holding that, so that it feels just wonderful if you use it naked. But I mean, I personally don't know anybody that uses that phone naked, and if you do, you're crazy, because there's a high probability that's going to slip out of your hand one day, or it's going to fall out of your pocket and it's going to land on cement or a hard surface and it's going to just crack and you're going to be having to get it fixed. But yeah, again, I don't think those are huge differences. I think the only major change that would have wowed me is putting that camera on the back of the phone. Or I should say that a little display on the back of the phones for selfies and notifications and things like that. That would be pretty cool. But other than that, I can't really think of anything too crazy unless they made the display absolutely humongous. I'd be like, this is so cool. But other than that, I can't really think of much that they could have changed physically that would have blown me away. But today's news, again, all about the S24 phones. It was officially leaked on the Walmart site, and it gives us some more insight of some of the features that are to come with the S24 Ultra and S24 Plus, and I wanted to read them verbatim with what those say. So let me put the glasses on and let's get to it. So the description says, do more with the most epic Galaxy yet, capture every detail of your candlelight meal with impressive nightography and zoom, and to see the live violinist playing across the room once you're back in your hotel. Elevate your pics from good to great right on your S24 Ultra. You can even use your built-in S Pen to add more fun doodles before posting, unleash new ways to create, connect, and more with the S24 Ultra. Epic, just like that. So that's their slogan. They go into say Live Translate, which is going to allow you to speak foreign languages on the spot right from inside the Samsung phone app with Live Translate. So that is a Google Pixel feature now coming to the S24 phones. Nightography zoom, brighten up your night with nightography on the S24 Ultra. Want a closer look? Zoom in from a distance, even in low light. So night photos have been much improved on here. Generative edit, move or remove objects, fill in empty spaces with generative edit, requires Samsung account login and internet connection. So it sounds like generative edit will be needing to send that information to the cloud. It won't be able to do it on the phone, it sounds like, exactly, without an internet connection. High resolution, share every detail of life's most shared worthy moments in natural, true-to-life color with an industry-leading 200 megapixel camera. Screen display, take your streaming and gaming to the edge with the S24 Ultra. Whether you're watching, winning, or even writing, the brighter, flatter screen gives you more room to do what you love. So you see it right there, flatter display. They're saying it's going to give you some more room to do what you love rather than having that curved display. And the S24 Plus basically says the same thing. It's not a huge difference from what the S24 Ultra says, but there's more information, this time from Ice Universe, who is saying that this is what it will look like when you watch a movie. He's just showing the picture of an S24 Ultra with, you know, some kind of anime, whatever this, I don't even know what the hell that is, but that's what it would look like on, you can see the screen does look pretty flat. But then he also talks about the camera, that there's an exclusive feature potentially coming to the S24 Ultra that's not on any other Galaxy phone, and that would be a 4K 120 frames per second video recording. Currently 4K 60 is the highest we can do. 4K 20 would be able to do ultra slow motion, or pretty much slow motion. I shouldn't say ultra slow motion, but slow motion at 4K. So that would be a nice little feature. But he also goes on to say that this function is in testing and it may not be preserved for the phone at the end of the day. So just keep your hopes kind of protected on that, just in case that one doesn't come true, but they are testing it at the very least. What do you guys think? You know, this is a software upgrade, let's be honest. There's some nice hardware pushed into this phone, but this is really a software phone, and software is what you use most, and software makes the biggest difference on a phone and the experience that you get. So I think in that regard, it looks like a really nice upgrade. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.